Hi guys, welcome back to SimRaid YT. And today we'll be talking about the champion Madame Serris. She's from the Dark Elves. As you can see, she's a champion which can be used in a lot of areas of the game. She can be used in arena offense, arena defense, campaigns, Demon Lord, Minotaur's Labyrinth, Fraction Wars, Magic Keep, Spider's Den, Dragon's Lair, Void Keep, Ice Golem, Spirit Keep, Boss Keep and Hydra. And the reason all for that is because of her skills. As buffs and debuffs champion. Panic Spread attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of placing a fear debuff for one turn. This chance increases to 30% if the target is under one debuff. This chance increases to 45% if the target is under two or more debuffs, and the damage is based on attack. As you see, you can book her out here to give the additional damage for each here. She has Midnight Ritual level, removes all buffs from the enemies. This is what makes her great in arena, it's removing those buffs. And she adds those buffs and it places a 50% decreased attack debuff and a 60% decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Decreased defense, decreased attack, and it has cooldown here as well, so you can bring it back to 4 turns after you book her out. Trick and Treat attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance of stealing one random buff from each target, places a block debuff on all allies for 2 turns if any buff is stolen, places a True Fear debuff for 1 turn on enemies who have buffs stolen, damage based on attack. She has True Fear and block debuffs, and with the books you get the additional damage and cooldowns and buffs as well. And then she has the Witch's Grace, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn when attacked while under a shield buff. Has a 35% chance of placing a fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. And we'll go into her and have a look how I've got her set up here. So I've got her set up in speed to have a lot of speed so she goes fast in the team. You know, you wanted to come off first or second move so she can get her buffs and debuffs up before you have like Nukers and that come in to do their damage. Crit rate I only need 100%, but because of the gear I'm using I don't quite have the right gear, so it's over here in crit rate. Crit damage is 108%, but it's not so much crit damage on her. She's just there for her buffs and debuffs and have as much accuracy as possible, so you know she's going to put up those buffs and debuffs for you. As you can see here, I have it set up at 369 accuracy. On the masteries, I've gone with for defense and support movements, so we have her in required defense of 75 for tough skin. We have a decreased damage received from AoE attacks by 5%. We have decreased the damage received by 10% if this champion has stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, petrification debuffs. We have a 50% chance to remove one random debuff from this champion when they lose 25% of their max HP or more from a single enemy skill. It reduces the damage by this champion receives from a specific enemy by 0.75% with each hit taken from that enemy. Damage reduction stacks up to 6% for each enemy. And Cycle of Revenge has a 50% chance of increasing the turn meter by 15% when an ally is attacked with a critical hit. It will only increase the turn meter once if an ally receives multiple critical hits from a single skill. And for support we have accuracy of an additional 10%. We've got increased accuracy by 20% when this champion has no skills on cooldown. As I said, the more accuracy the better, so she can make sure she gets her skills off. Increased accuracy by 4 for each enemy alive, stacks up to 16%. Has a 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% when a debuff cast by this champion is removed or expired. Increases the base stat set bonuses of all artifact sets that increase base stats by 15%. This increase in multi-active, not additive, additive, decreases the target's turn meter when this champion hits them with their default skill for the first time. Decreases the turn meter by 20% with a single target skills and 5% with AoE skills. Occurs once per target. Then we have increases the chance of placing any debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. It will not increase the chances of placing stun, sleep, freeze, fear, true fear, provoke or petrification debuffs. We've also gone with has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any debuff cast by this champion by 1 turn. It will not extend, stun, sleep, freeze, provoke, fear, true fear, bomb, or petrification debuffs. And last of all, we have additional accuracy with the eagle eye. As I said, I've just set her up so she's got as much accuracy as possible, so she can just get those buffs and debuffs off. I have her with quite a bit of health, but yeah, speed, health, and accuracy, they're the most important things I've gone with for the champion. I have her in perception to give her additional accuracy and speed, and the speed boost set as well. So we'll have a look here where we can go. We'll do a fight with her. We'll go into the dungeon so we can show. We'll just have a look in the Minotaur's Labyrinth. That will do for now. So you can just see how she can go with the skill. So we'll put her into the team here. Madame Serris. We'll leave the other champions just to show here what she can do. Just to show the buffs and debuffs in action. But yeah, as I said earlier, a lot of areas in the game she can be used just for those buffs and debuffs. But she's a great arena champion as well. That's where you could use her. A lot of people use her in that area of the game in the arena to help their team to get some buffs and debuffs, to remove those buffs from the enemies. And that's why you want to set her up with a lot of accuracy and speed as well if you're going to use her in the arena. So you can see there she's putting out some debuffs. And she puts buffs on our champions as well. But yeah, mostly just to remove buffs off the enemy and give them debuffs on them. So you decrease turn meter there for the champion, the enemy. She does Witch's Grace, decreases attack, decreases defense. As you can see, she's getting those buffs out there, which helps her other champions then. Our nukers, if we have nukers in the team, to do additional damage. So you can see there, yeah, she does a wonderful job, Madame Serris, in your team. What other areas can we have a look at here? Go back to the map. We can show you here in the Arcane Keep, or the Magic Keep actually. We'll have a look at the Magic Keep. We'll go down here to level 20. As you can see, we'll set her up and put her in here in this team. So you can see she can use me in a lot of areas of the game, either in the beginning, anywhere through stages, any areas of the game you can mostly put her in and take benefit of those buffs and debuffs she has. Which is always great to have a buff champion, debuff champion in your team, in any area of the game. She works well in the Hydra as well, Boar's Keep, Minotaur's Labyrinth as you've seen, Faction Wars, Spider's Dens. Not so great in the Demon Lord area, but she still works there. And the Fire Knight, the same there. I wouldn't be putting her into your team there if you have other champions. But yeah, 85-90% of the any part of the game she can be used to control debuffs and buffs for your champions. As you can see there, she's getting out the buffs. Debuffs on the enemies. And that's what you want. You want as many debuffs as possible setting up on those enemy champions. Just makes it easier for your champions then to do damage and decrease the defense of their enemies. As you see, she did a true fear there, skill. And that's what you want to look at. Any areas of the game you're fighting in, you want to control those areas. You control the enemies. So if you've got those buffs, debuff champions, put them into your teams. You can see where they work in which areas of the game. It's just trial and error until you find the champion which which will work. Then you try them in other areas of the game as well. But any buff, debuff champion, you can probably use them in 90% of the game in your teams. Put a mixture in there as well, healer in your team as well, and then some nukers. Turn meter champion, that's what I have there. Cold Heart, she's doing turn meter. That's what she's in the team for, and to do a lot of damage as well with her setup. So yeah, it's mostly about Madame Serris here. That's what these videos are, to show how she can work and influence your team in different areas of the game. Yeah, just remember, put as much accuracy as possible on her. That's to make it that she can get those buffs and debuffs happening. Bit of HP and some speed, so you can get her higher up in your team. You'd like her to go first or second in your team. You know, that's why she can get those buffs out there before your Nuke champions come in. Okay guys, I think that's it for this video. That's about Madame Serris. Thank you.